It's your boy.
It's your boy, Webhead Flash.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another top 5 video. So it's the usuals of
Logan Wilson. Jackson Chapman.
Jonah Morgan.
and Christian Hopkins, and today we're here with another top 5 video for you guys with our top 5 favorite superhero movies of all time. So, do we want to go this way?
I'll start.
Okay, I'll start.
Start with you.
Okay, I have 3 honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is going to go to my twin, Megamind. It's
your blue brethren.
Yeah, it's just a fun. He's the only one that matches me in just the magnitude of head size.
We have call signs up at the movie theater. His is
his
is Megamind. Megamind, Staples.
It's just
or something.
Yeah.
It's just a fun. It's just a fun movie. I don't know what else to say. It's got Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Is that the movie where the president is like, dun, dun,
No, that's Monsters vs. Aliens.
Dang it, my
That movie is
bad.
sick.
I knew what he was thinking. I think it's DreamWorks.
It's DreamWorks.
It's DreamWorks. It's the same. Yeah.
That's on me.
No,
My
but
bad.
it's fun. I don't know what else to say. It's Brad Pitt and Will Ferrell. It's gonna be fun. My second honorable mention is Unbreakable. It's the movie with Bruce Willis. It was made probably back in like the early 2000s. And then Split with James McAvoy was also part of that universe. And then Glass came out a couple years ago. It was the end of that.
2019, I think
2019.
Glass came out.
I cried. Anyways. My last honorable mention is Incredibles. It's probably my dad's favorite movie ever. I've watched it so many times. The second one didn't quite live up to the first one, but I think it did about as well as it could with how good the first one is.
One of the best Pixar movies.
All right, number 5. Logan will agree with this one. It's Age of Ultron. It's so good.
Oh, that made it to your list?
It's
I didn't think it was mine, but that's great.
Oh yeah.
I respect that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
dude. It's so enjoyable.
Respect
Is
that.
it like the greatest movie in terms of how critics would rate it? No, but I don't care about critics. So
No one does.
it's very enjoyable. I love James Spader as Ultron. Enough said. 4 is Dark Knight. I watched it for the first time ever. In the past. No, it was like a month ago.
About a month or 2 ago.
Yeah, I can't say anything that probably hasn't been said about this movie already. So I mean, I think
We did a whole video.
I think Heath Ledger as Joker. I've reflected on it. Heath Ledger as Joker is one of the best performances I've ever seen in a movie. Hands period. Stop the sentence there. My number 3 is Winter Soldier. It's all you want.
It's a good one.
There's those movies where the action is like based on powers and all CGI. Not Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is
Beat 'em up.
beat 'em up. Yeah, no, I love it. 2 is Black Panther. On the rewatch, this movie's fantastic. I don't think the second one quite live up to it, but how could you?
Yeah.
Also, one of the best performances in a superhero movie is Chadwick Boseman. It's fantastic, and Killmonger is, I think, the best villain in the MCU. My number 1 is Avengers. It's my favorite. It's my favorite, if not one of my favorite, if not my favorite movie of all time. It's so much fun. Yes, Captain America's costume does look stupid, but he takes the mask off halfway through, and we get to see Chris Evans' beautiful face. So, yeah, and it's got Loki, which I always love. So that's my top 5.
Yeah, sir.
Good list.
That was a good list. It's pretty similar to mine.
It's my turn.
We're going to Jackson next.
All right, so you told me I could do 5 honorable mentions, so I went 5 honorable mentions. So I agreed with him. An honorable mention is Incredibles. Again, one of the best Pixar movies of all time. A family of superheroes, and the villain being a former friend of the superhero.
Yes,
that's a great movie.
It's a good movie.
Right there, your plot right there. Boom, I'm hooked. Another honorable mention is The Amazing Spider-Man and Garfield.
Whoa.
I knew Christian would be happy about that one.
I am very happy with that.
I really enjoyed it. People give that movie a lot of crap because maybe Andrew Garfield's not Peter Parker enough. But
the most crap that movie gets is he's not Toby.
Yeah, that is true. He had a very high expectation to live up to Toby. But I thought in terms of the actual Spider-Man, he was the most athletic Spider-Man that we've seen. The gear was great. I thought Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy was great. And I liked how it was kind of like a different take on not always being Mary Jane. You had a different take of, oh, he's actually in love with Gwen Stacy.
And they do a slight twist to the origin story.
Right. Yeah, and I enjoyed it a lot. I thought Aunt May and Uncle Ben were great. And I don't know. I just really enjoyed The Amazing Spider-Man. It gets a lot of crap. I'm not the biggest fan of Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I really do.
It gets a lot of crap for the second one.
Yeah. I really enjoy the first one. The first one had me set up of, okay, I want his trilogy now because Tobey got a really good trilogy.
Right, there was a reason it got a second.
There's a reason it got a second. Let's go. All right, my next one, The Batman with Robert Pattinson. Honorable mention. It literally, we were doing this list probably 5 to 10 minutes ago, and it was on my top 5, and then I was like, oh wait, no, this movie has to be there. So The Batman was on my top 5. When I was originally just doing that, I absolutely loved that movie. Got the detective work of Bruce Wayne, and you kind of see a darker side of Bruce Wayne. You get to see him and Gordon as a duo. We've done a review on this channel about The Batman and how great it is, and how Pattinson had this big void of, all right, you're not going to be Christian Bale.
Yeah.
He was told, and I'm sure critics are all over this world all right, let's see this new Batman. It's not going to be Christian Bale's trilogy. It was pretty freaking good.
Because he tried to be Christian Bale.
And so I really love the take they took on it, and I'm excited to see his second one.
Yes.
My other honorable mention is Civil War. I absolutely love Captain America Civil War. One of the best fight scenes between Iron Man and Captain America takes place there. It's so freaking good. I love... Because, in a superhero movie, you're supposed, the superheroes work in tandem. But this one, there's a little bit of drama, and they kind of rile each other up. And they got to their breaking point, and you see where it got them. And it was pretty epic movie. My last honorable mention is No Way Home. I think fan service was done tremendous job here.
So wrong.
I mean, if you didn't include the other Spider-Man, that movie is going to be the biggest flop of all time. Let's be real. If you don't get Andrew and Toby in that movie, it's going to be a flop. But also, besides them being in that movie, I thought the storyline was great. I'm not in love with the ending of them forgetting that...
that was the one thing that I had
about him being Spider-Man or him just being Peter Parker in general.
That's one of my favorite parts.
I don't know. I just didn't agree with that because it kind of is misleading to, okay, how are we going to continue making Tom Holland movies?
I agree.
So that's kind of where I'm at with my head.
I agree.
But again, it is an amazing movie. The fight scene was great. I love bringing back all the villains. And I thought it was a really good movie. All right, number 5. Sorry, there was a lot of honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Number 5 might be a little bit hot take. Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire.
Oh boy, that's a good one.
Love the Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man, the first one with Tobey Maguire. A little cringy. Also, I mean, it's great. Origin story was very well done. I thought Green Goblin as William Dafoe was great.
I was kind of expecting that one to be on your list.
But Alfred Molina
as Doc Ock, and I thought Toby's acting in the second one turned it up a notch.
Yeah.
Mary Jane isn't as unbearable as she was in the first one.
She's in 3 though.
She was unbearable in 3. Oh, in 2 she's fine.
2 she's fine.
I think she's fine in the first one, and it's this one she's unbearable.
I don't know. The first one she's
or
pretty...
she starts getting to that point.
I just really love this whole story of just Peter kind of being mentored by Doc Ock, and then it turns out that he's the villain, and I'm not in love with the Harry storyline of him just basically seeing
James Franco.
James Franco. I'm not in love with him seeing his father the whole time, and him kind of going back and forth between Harry's friend but also trying to defend his father's honor. Other than that, I just really enjoy Spider-Man 2. It's probably if you were to ask my 8-year-old self what's your favorite movie of all time, I would have said Spider-Man 2. Yeah. So that's why it's number 5 for me, to do my 8-year-old self some justice. Number 4 is going to be Endgame. Absolutely love Endgame. It's one of the best fight scenes of all time, along with you end the whole Avengers saga basically with such an incredible movie. Thanos is finally defeated. You get contributions from every single Avenger or just Marvel character in general, and you kind of got a the story of oh my gosh, RDJ going out as Iron Man. Very well done, and I don't know, just something about Endgame just brings back so many memories. I know we've talked about it before, but working out of the theater, the excitement to go see this movie is unmatched. Yeah. Even the excitement for us to go see No Way Home will never meet the excitement we had to go see Endgame. Endgame, you just were
because you were waiting for a year.
You had waited for so long, especially with Infinity War. being just kind of this cliffhanger.
Oh, just like a wait, what?
You needed that next
Yeah.
movie, and they did a
Mhm.
very good job following up.
Endgame was the type of movie you were excited to see, not to work.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
I didn't have to work yet. I wasn't there yet. Let's go.
Nah, none of you guys were. I was.
My number 3 is Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight Rises with Bane and the trilogy ending with Christian Bale as Batman. I've said on this channel numerous times that I think the Dark Knight trilogy is some of the best superhero films of all time, and some just the best films in general. I just love the storyline of Batman kind of being retired out of the game, and Bane trying to take over the city of Gotham, and Gotham needed that hero of Batman to come back. Even though he was in the bad graces of the public eye because they thought he killed Harvey Dent, but yet he comes back, saves the city by dropping the atomic bomb somewhere far away. Again, Dark Knight Rises is just so well done. Christopher Nolan, the GOAT producer. I don't think there's any debate about that.
No.
So number 2 might be a little bit of a hot take also. I'm going Infinity War as number 2. I'm on the train of Infinity War is better than Endgame, which is I thought the action, the plot, the character development, the just all around just what's going to happen next. You had no idea what was going to happen next in Infinity War, and gave you that itch to want to watch Endgame, but you don't get Endgame unless you get that from Infinity War. And so I thought Infinity War was very well done. Kind of like we've talked about, we had a movie where we thought, okay, the villain actually won. What the heck? Like,
what do we do?
What do we do? You don't get that type of feeling from a lot of other movies,
Don't forget.
and that's why Infinity War was so well done, because I genuinely thought Thanos had defeated the Avengers.
Endgame would not be as good as it is without Infinity War.
Absolutely.
I completely agree with that.
So the number 1, I don't think is any shock to you guys. It's Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So he's chosen Dark Knight over Dark Knight Rises.
Yes,
You
I
said you go back and forth.
I officially have chosen Dark Knight over Dark Knight Rises.
That could change in like a month.
That is true, but I just think this is the best superhero movie of all time.
Any list or opinion is always subject to change. So
Yeah.
That is
I agree
true.
with that.
I mean, I've talked so much about the Dark Knight, how amazing it is, how great the Joker is, how great every single character is, the plot being just phenomenal. I mean, I can go on, but I've already gone on this channel multiple times about the Dark Knight, so I'm just going to say it's the number 1. It's my favorite all-time superhero movie.
Good list.
Good list.
Good
I
list.
feel like I just talked for like 5 minutes
I
straight.
forgot about
list.
Spider-Man 2, man. Add that to my honorable
Yeah.
mentions. Spider-Man 2 is fantastic.
I'm gonna try not to ramble too much
Yeah, Jackson.
about
Jesus.
these. no, nothing against you. Most of the things on this list are videos that we've done before.
Right.
So you should go check them out.
Link in the description.
That'd be a lot of links.
For every
So
single video.
For every
Yeah.
single
Yep, yep.
All right, so start with my honorable mentions. I have Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 in the honorable mentions. I really like this one. Didn't quite make the list, but it's just a lot of it's nostalgia. This is such a nostalgic series. For
Nostalgia
me.
can play such a major factor into some movies. I'll give you that one.
It definitely does, but it's really enjoyable. I love it. Toby's iconic. I think he's still the best Peter Parker
Mm-hmm.
in the
I agree.
movies.
I would agree with that.
I absolutely love it. And then Doc Ock, one of the best movie villains. Next up on the list, I have The Dark Knight. I honestly haven't watched the Dark Knight franchise that much, but we rewatched them recently for the reviews and absolutely loved it. It definitely deserves a spot on my list somewhere. So here it is. And then my last one, I have it's not necessarily a great movie, but I have it on here because I adore this movie. And that movie is Kick-Ass. I freaking love that movie. It is so great. It is so fun.
Did you get that poster from?
I did not take the poster. I should have. I kind of regret it. But I absolutely love the movie. And then that actor is, what's his name? Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's going to be playing Kraven.
And he was Quicksilver.
And he was Quicksilver in Age of Ultron.
He was also in Bullet Train.
Yeah, he was in Bullet Train as well. I think he's a great actor, and even in this movie, he was great. And Nick Cage is in this movie, by the way. Fun fact: Nicolas Cage is in this movie. I always forgot about that.
That's right. Doesn't he shoot the girl?
Yeah, but yeah, this earned a spot on my list because I absolutely love this movie. It's so much fun. All right, now to my top 5. At number 5, I have Black Panther. I absolutely love Black Panther. Every time I rewatch this movie, I always sit there and I think, is this my favorite movie I've ever seen? Is this my favorite movie ever? And I just love this movie. Chadwick Boseman is incredible in that role. They couldn't have casted it any better. Number 4, I have The Incredibles. I think this is the first movie that's not like Marvel or DC? No, you had
No, I didn't know honorable mentions.
you had okay.
At least in the top fives, because I think
You did.
In top five.
In the top
mentioned it.
five, this is the first one that's not like a Marvel or DC film. I love The Incredibles. It's such a fun movie. I hate that it took them that long to make
a sequel.
14 years.
Yeah, it's way too long. Most of the audience is our age
Yeah.
now, so
yeah.
that made us.
But that was
probably
kind of the
funny.
joy of it, of like being like around our age.
That's
Like,
true.
Like high
It
school,
made the
and then
nostalgia
hearing-
even more.
Yeah.
And my dad just sitting in the theater like, yeah.
Yeah. I love the Incredibles. It's one of my favorite movies as a kid. I think it was one of the first movies I ever saw in the theater.
What was it, like 07?
Yeah,
My
something
first
like that.
movie I saw in theater was Finding Nemo.
Mine was Cars.
Lucky.
I have
I was
no
close.
idea.
I
How the
literally
heck
have
do y'all
no-
remember
I
that?
literally
have no
That's
clue.
crazy.
Parents.
I
They
was
come.
told.
Mine was Finding Nemo. Luke's was Up. Parker's was Iron Man 3.
That's lit.
That's dope.
All right, now number 3, I have Avengers. I mean, really, can't say much more about. I can't say much about it that hasn't been said. We have a whole video on
that
it.
I haven't said.
Yeah, we've got a whole video on it. Go
Well, but-
watch it. It's great.
Hey, if you want to see Logan's more in-depth thoughts to the beginning of Iron Man 3, because since you were there.
What is it?
Your thoughts on Avengers?
You weren't
at the
there
beginning
for the
of-
Avengers
You had COVID
one.
when we did Avengers.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so your thoughts were at the beginning of Iron Man 3.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I wasn't in that one. I mean, what more can I say that I didn't say there? I guess.
And if he didn't say it,
Great
maybe
movie.
Jonah did in the review.
And I probably did.
Great movie. Some of the best like superhero writing ever. Honestly, one of the best villains ever.
So one of the most
Loki's
quotable
incredible.
movies ever.
One of the
Oh.
most quotable movies. Yeah, that movie is definitely very quotable.
Yeah, it's so good.
Love the Avengers. It's
Very
great.
marketable.
Yeah, very
Dark
marketable.
Maul.
So many toys.
So many toys.
So many toys.
Thor.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Number 2, I have the Batman.
Ooh.
God,
it to 2.
making it all the way to 2.
Wow.
I rewatched this movie the other day, so maybe there's a little recency bias, but I absolutely love this movie. It's my favorite Batman movie. I'll go ahead and say it now. It's my favorite Batman movie. I absolutely love this movie. Pattinson's performances, top tier.
Great.
I love this take on Batman. It's a little bit more human.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as superhero-y, but it's a little bit more human. The detective stuff.
Yeah.
The hand-to-hand, so great.
Mhm.
The villains in this movie, I say villains because there's a couple. Just all of it I really, really love, and I cannot wait for a sequel. I hope it doesn't poop the bed. I really hope not.
It's got the standard now. You've got your foundation.
Yep.
And, then,
I'm
and then
scared.
that's how disappointments happen.
If the
But that's
sequel
also
is
how
better
it's-
than the first one, it's going to be
that, yeah,
great
it's how
franchise.
disappointments happen, but also how like great successes
That's, I
happen.
think it's also why Dark Knight was so good, because you start with Batman Begins,
And
you
the
got,
sequel
you
is
got,
even better.
you got
Yes,
better
I
than
agree.
that, and then some people argue that the end of the
Yeah.
trilogy was even better than the second one.
Right. So I hope that happens with Pattinson because I think he's killed it so far.
Yeah.
And in my number 1 spot, I have my favorite superhero movie of all time. You heard me praise this movie in the review for it. I love this film. It is Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Ooh.
Freaking love this movie. Captain America is one of my favorite superheroes.
He's got the best trilogy in Marvel.
He has the best trilogy in the MCU.
And it's not close.
And it's not
I
even
don't think it
close.
is, no.
Not even a little bit. I think all of this movie is just perfect. I
Mhm.
mean, you can hear me ramble about this movie in the review for it, but this movie is objectively, or I should say, objectively perfect in my eyes.
Still didn't get a 10 from
You
you.
don't get.
Didn't get a 10. It got the 9.7. But
9.7.
I think if I really were to be honest in my heart, I'd give it a 10.
You would give
but
it a 10.
I
And
gotta.
you're- and you're
be-
If
hard.
you would be
Yeah.
stop being such a critic.
Yeah, nothing's got a 10 yet.
That's
Nothing's
true.
got a
No,
10.
nothing.
but
I don't think we'll get a 10 from you.
This movie is almost perfect for me. I love this movie. That's my list.
My turn. So I have up to 5 honorable mentions. I'll try and go through them pretty quick. The first one is going to be The Avengers. I mean, again, what more can I say that we haven't already said? It's one of the first Marvel movies I saw in a theater. Just the experience of seeing it, even having really not seen any of the other movies beforehand, was just something that just can't really be replicated. And it's just an incredible experience. But, I mean, I've already said most of my thoughts in the review. But, yeah, love Avengers. My next honorable mention is going to be The Batman. Yeah, love this movie. It was my most anticipated movie of 2022. In terms of live action Batman, he is my favorite. Pattinson is just all around great movie. I haven't rewatched it too much, but when I do rewatch it, I always find myself locked in. I'm never bored at any point in time, and it's all around just a great movie. My next honorable mention is going to be Spider-Man: No Way Home. Yeah,
That's interesting.
were you expecting that to be top 5?
I was expecting that to be like 2.
Nope. But yeah, No Way Home, the fan service of this movie just really pushes it up. And with having Toby and Andrew there, not just to be fan service, but to kind of build up Tom's character. And I really like the ending to the entire movie. It kind of shows us that he is now Spider-Man. He's not Iron Man Jr. He's nothing like that. He is fully Spider-Man. And with where Tom's Spider-Man could go, depending on how that works, we still don't fully know the next time he'll be showing up.
You gotta give the man a break.
Yeah, you get.
He's been filming for a long time.
Yeah, deserves a break. But No Way Home, fantastic movie. Would probably be in my top 5. Just a couple things here and there, like some noticeable CG could have definitely been a little better. But I mean, aside from that, just really great movie. Next one I'll mention is going to be the anime movie Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox.
Good. Oh, dang it! I forgot about Flashpoint.
This is such a great movie. It adapts the Flashpoint comic storyline almost pretty much perfectly, and even improves a couple of tiny issues that the comic had. But it was adapting the Flash's best comic, and
It's the reason I like Shazam and Black Adam so much.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I won't say too much on it for when we eventually do a review for it, but
Yeah.
The Flash is my favorite DC hero, so I love this movie. And I rewatched it about a week or 2 ago, and it was incredible. My final honorable mention is going to be a non-Marvel or DC one. It's going to be Big Hero 6.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Dang it! That's a really good one.
one.
That's a fantastic
You know what?
That's a
Almost made my
really
honorable
good
mention
one.
was Sky High.
I
wanted to put Sky High so
Kurt
bad.
Russell's the GOAT.
I wanted to put it so bad, but I was like, Jackson, you cannot put this in your honorable. Yes, if you would have gave me 6 honorable mentions,
You can put it in the top 5.
no.
You could have put it in your honorable mentions. I love Sky High.
Sorry.
That's a solid pick. But yeah, I love Big Hero 6 so much. It's of any like Disney movie, I've probably seen this one the most. It's
so good.
great, relatable characters. You have the best character ever with Baymax, and it's just the overall animation's great, story's great, villain's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite movies overall.
Dude, that could be a live action movie and it would still be like fantastic.
Yeah,
It
really good.
didn't have to be animated. It felt like it didn't feel like an animated movie half the time.
Yeah, but I got reminded of this movie because I saw Luke watching it a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, this is up there. But that does my honorable mentions. So for number 5, I have Avengers: Infinity War.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it's the beginning of the end game of the Infinity Saga. Great characters, arguably the best villain in the MCU. A couple of maybe tiny nitpicks here and there, but nothing that like brings the movie down entirely. And it's one of the best in the MCU and one of the best superhero movies ever made. Number 4, I have Batman Under the Red Hood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is my favorite DC movie. It's a short animated movie, but this movie was the reason Red Hood is one of my favorite DC characters of all time. Just great voice acting, great animation, great story, and rewatching it about a month or so ago just reminded me, yeah, this is one of my favorite DC movies. It is my favorite DC movie, and it's barely over an hour, so if you haven't seen it,
Oh yeah. It's like
watch it.
yeah, it's really short.
But number 3, I have Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Valid.
Upon recently, I do find myself agreeing with Logan that this is the best movie in the MCU. I can't think of any small single nitpick I have with the movie. Like Infinity War, a couple things maybe can jump to my mind, but they're like tiniest nitpicks. Winter Soldier, I couldn't tell you anything. Just such no words. Just an incredible movie. Once again, check out the review. Number 2, The Amazing Spider-Man.
I knew that was going to be high.
Oh, I know it's number 1 then. Yeah.
This movie,
I knew what number 1 was going to be.
Yeah, I did too.
I feel like everybody would. But The Amazing Spider-Man is the reason Spider-Man is my favorite hero. I watched the Tobey movies when I was younger. They didn't grab me as much as a kid. But seeing this movie in the theater was what sparked my love for Spider-Man. And I'll continue to defend both of these movies till the day I die. But the first one is just a movie I love watching. If you were to ask me a movie that I find myself rewatching the most, it's between The Amazing Spider-Man and The Winter Soldier. if I'm going to rewatch a Marvel movie, it's going to be one of those two.
That's part of a good movie is
Hey,
rewatching
who
it.
grabbed you in the theater?
That's something I always factor in.
What did you say?
I said who grabbed you in the theater?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Amazing Spider-Man was also one of the first reviews that I did on my channel, so check that out as well. But if you know me, you know what number 1 is. It's Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I figured.
Across the Spider-Verse, number 1.
It has the potential. But I mean, Into the Spider-Verse,
Great. Fantastic.
what can I say that I haven't said multiple times? Not just in the review, but
That was my
videos
first
as
video
well.
I think I did.
Yeah, it was.
Mm.
But I mean, in my eyes, this is just a perfect movie. Character, story, animation, everything. Oh my gosh, this movie was what fixed. Miles Morales as a character in the comics did have a couple of issues in terms of how he was written. This movie fixed it. Every single problem that his character had, they fixed.
Yeah.
And Across the Spider-Verse has the potential of topping it, but that's a pretty hard task to do. But based on what we've seen so far and what we've heard about it, it's got the potential. But yep, so that'll do it for our top 5 favorite superhero movies of all time.
Yeah.
Let us know what your favorite superhero movie is down below.
Or that other guy who was talking crap to him about bones and all. I
saw
had your
that.
back, my boy. I had your
saw
back.
that.
Yeah, that was right.
Did you respond?
No,
I said, call him out,
He
Christian.
said call him out.
The dude was talking nonsense, saying bones and all.
Oh.
This metaphor for loneliness and how
Stop.
it takes a good taste of blah, blah, blah.
Quit.
You're watching this.
No, I'm
you don't got
uncomfortable.
good taste in movies.
No, I'm
sorry.
uncomfortable.
I'm sorry. You can call me out. You can add me. My Instagram is _JacksonChapman _. We can be my DM.
Let's
Yeah,
see what happens.
Yeah, that's all I
Call.
have. Yeah, but
Let's have a civilized
Oh, yeah,
chat.
I got my boy's back.
I'm specifically talking to Lucas because in the top 5 games, he left a comment that was just an essay.
About
Sonic
DC
Frontiers.
About DC Universe Online.
That was number. He had 3
What?
Sonic games. He had 3 Sonic games as number 2.
No chance.
Fortnite's
Anyways.
gotta be up there in
Quit.
the top.
It's gotta be up there.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you later, Whipheads.
But Gucci's.